Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Steiner section. Today, I am joined with one of the most influential people in the pro wrestling industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome founder of the UDW and founder and commissioner of the RWFL, OriginCA. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Happy to be on the show.
Just
do my thing.
How's your day been, man?
Oh, it's been good. I woke up, just do my regular thing.
Yeah. Are you nervous? This is the first interview, and you're our first guest on the Steiner section.
Yeah, I'm not really nervous, but hey, I'm proud to be here.
All right, let's just get started. When did you start pro wrestling?
December of 2016. I forgot the exact date, but it was December 2016. I didn't really go to feds. I usually just fought on like WWE 2K17, like casually critical. It's kind of my only thing I knew.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of like WWE gimmicks, like just regular catalog attires. That was the thing.
Do you remember your first fed that you were serious about?
First fed, PCW by Isaac. You guys probably know who PCW is. It's been around for a while. But back then it was me, EJ Swift, Cool as a Ninjago. A bunch of people that are known now. We always started back there in PCW. I kind of sucked. It was really that good.
Yeah, that's something I want to talk to you about. Whenever, you first start pro wrestling, and you're not that good. No one's really starts off good. When did you first realize that you're starting to win more and you're gonna try to take this? Did you ever try to take this more seriously? When you started to get better?
In September of 2017, I just won the RCW television title. That's when I realized that I can actually be decent. What really happened? I beat Kevin, MNFN, Steen.
Yeah.
I beat. 3-2. I was 11. I was so happy after I won it. Young.
Who do you think is your greatest rivalry in pro
rivalry? Oh, I enjoyed whenever I fought Swift Rider back then. He always tried to be better than him. I really fought him at Feds, but it was always a competitive friendship I had with him. Tried to do better on. That's kind of probably the best rivalry I can think of.
Alright, now we're gonna get into some more juicy stuff. Was UDW your first fed you ever did?
No, I owned a lot of feds back then. First fed I ever owned was a fed called R&W, made it back in 2017 too. So I wanted to host something. It was a free model arena. Everything was made on Paint.net in 2 seconds. It wasn't A's quality of Paint.net. I made it in 2 seconds with the most basic Windows fonts. Try to host every day. It was already not that good. 10 people a show, 10 to 20 a show. Weird.
Do you think UDW was your first fed that was really successful?
It was probably the most successful federation I owned, yes.
When did you start UDW?
I started with Prince Duro back in 2018, and we took a break, came back in 2020, and then now it is owned by Caden Jersey after I leave his community.
That's something I really wanted to talk to you about. What was the process of selling UDW to Caden Jersey?
Caden came to me. He wanted to own a federation to take over after APW. I agreed with him. He bought it off me. Me and Duro are gonna stick with him and try to help him out in anything we could possibly do. Duro is gonna continue to build for him. I'll be there for creative purposes. That's what's gonna happen. Caden's just gonna host. I don't have time to host anymore. Duro's 18 right now. Yeah. So
what led to the decision that you didn't really want to host a fed anymore?
After after April was ending and everyone's saying they're gonna leave, but it's alright, there's no reason for me to be here anymore. This community is growing to be very toxic and everything. There's so much disagreements on everything. There's no really federation that can take over after April leaves. After April is ending, for us, it's not going to feel the same for a while until a federation gets back to the #1 spot. Because no fed right now is prepared for it. No one is. BPW is the favorite too, but is BPW really the best option right now? Or is Dylan prepared? I don't think he is, in my opinion.
Yeah. What I really want to talk to you about, not about the negative side of UDW, but more about the uprising of UDW. Is there any pro wrestler out there who you think career really jumped out to more heights because of UDW?
Oh, this is a good question. I gotta think about this one for a second. UDW, okay? There's a tag team guy named SARS. He helped you out through it a lot. But UW never really did a lot. I mean, he got decent in UW. He got his first big storyline there with AJC. It helped him out. He didn't really perform well in the match. He lagged. But he did get his name out there and show it off a little bit. That's someone we developed. I guess we can take credit for if you'd like to. But no, UW really never developed people. We always just had the bigger names come in and they were just like did their thing. And you can say SAR, the tag team guy, the great Charlie. He got a little boost in UDW. And Jake Lesnar, but he was already kind of known. Gave him a little bit. Sippy Cup. That's where the biggest one. Everyone knows Sippy Cup from UDW.
Do you think his career jump started because of UDW, or do you think he was already an elevated performer?
Sippy's first ever fed was UW back in 2018. That's where I met Sippy Cup, and that's where that's always been his main fed for a while.
And you guys are good friends now. I know.
Yeah, I am good friends with Sippy. I don't talk to him as much. I don't talk to many people as much, but he's still around there. I'm in group chats with him. I'm in a lot of group chats. What's going on here? But yeah.
During your time as owning UDW, was there ever a point that you felt like it was growing too much, or the fact that you wanted to give up because of how much pressure was on you to host?
I didn't really get bothered with the pressure. It grew quickly, but I kept looking into this community deeper and deeper, and like realizing like, is this really what I want to spend my next 2 to 3 years on? It's like, I want to do stuff, and real a lot of things on the internet than just Roblox. And Roblox, its updates are not the best anymore. The game isn't the best anymore.
Yeah.
I saw an update. They're having like, it's gonna cost Robux to upload clothes.
That's what I heard. I actually thought that was a
dumb update. Yeah.
Next, aside from UDW, I want to talk to you about your in-ring career. Were you always the character Kane?
I was not. I used to do a really generic gimmick called OriginCA. There was no gimmick. I was just myself. I was in a basic attire. The thing that I started doing Kane from AXW. Not really a big fan of AXW now, but it did help me create the Kane character. Me and I think his name is Johnny. How do you pronounce his? Johnny, I think. It's called Gino or whatever. But the Kane gimmick is probably my best gimmick I've ever done in wrestling. It's got me the best, the farthest I've done.
Yeah. Do you think when you started UDW that you shifted from in-ring to more of a promoter?
I've always, after UDW started and I started growing again, wrestling was there to the side. I always had like bookings because like I'm the owner or something. It's a lot easier to get booked in places and push if you're a Fed owner. It's kind of biased, but there's a lot of examples out there you might think of Fed owners getting pushed because I'm a big Fed.
I was actually, I had it written down that I was gonna ask you, has the thought of quitting Roblox ever crossed your mind? But you're like very vocal that has crossed your mind plenty of times.
I've always tried to be vocal about my opinions in this community and what I disagree with. I've always never tried to hide behind a shadow or anything about it. I've always tried to give everyone my correct opinions, never try to sugarcoat anything. Mm-hmm. It's usually how I wanted to be.
Are you thinking? All right, I didn't mean to do that.
You're good.
Is your in-ring career over, or do you think you still have some more time left?
Oh, depends on if Ken wants me to do a little run in A3W. It's probably where it's gonna probably end. I'm not really a big fan of waiting 2 hours to get booked at Feds anymore. BPW is not really my thing. I don't really see another federation I go to at this point right now.
Yeah. So next, moving from pro wrestling to another different community in Roblox, I want to talk to you about the RWFL. From what I've heard, the RWFL isn't your first.
Second.
It's your second. It's your second league. Did you think of the idea, or did the Ari, the other commissioner?
Ari thought of the idea. He came to me and said we should host a Roblox Wrestling Federation or Roblox Football Federation. Not Federation, a league.
When was this? Like, when did he tell you about it?
He had the idea. Hold on. It was back in.
Hey, Common.
Let me see.
It's me.
It was back. Let me find this.
I've been thinking about you
This-
lately.
Take your time.
Hold on. I know when he asked it.
Call me back.
Okay, I think it was like 2 months ago. Okay, we created the Discord like 2 months ago, but we didn't start advertising it till like 3 weeks ago. That's when we started like, let's make it alive. The league has not been around for a while, but it's already. Let me check Discord members. 162 members. I'm already in week. Whoa, hold on, 162 members. So yeah, it's doing pretty well for itself.
I think because of you and Ari's reach in the Road Wrestling community, I think it has given more light to the RWFL, to people that played Football Fusion, to really get out there and join their pro wrestling friends.
I've enjoyed it a lot better than pro wrestling as of late. It's just a lot. It's kind of more fun. I like professional American football in life too, so it's just a nice little thing.
Yeah.
I think.
So since we're on the topic of the RWFL, how hard is it to be co-commissioners with Ari and trying to do this just the two of you? I mean, obviously you have TTB, but I mean, you and Ari, you guys do really more of the the background stuffs. Like, how hard is it to do those things that you and Ari do behind the scenes from what the FOs and the players see?
It hasn't been as difficult as you would think. The only difficulty is people's toxicity and just their opinions getting out of hand. Because sometimes people get really upset.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it, or they'll threaten to leave the league or stuff. It's kind of annoying sometimes. But it's not the hardest thing in the world to do, in my opinion. It's kind of simple. Do the games, you put the stats in the stat sheet, and then you deal with people that get upset whenever they get upset.
That's something I wanted to ask you about. Do you think, due to the toxicity, like I'm in the league right now, I'm the franchise owner for the Eagles, and I've seen it firsthand about, how much toxicity there is in the league. Do you think there's going to be a point where it's going to get too much, where people are going to, maybe start threatening the other players?
I don't believe we'll get that out of hand. If it does get out of hand, the person that threatened probably needs to go. Because if you threaten someone over Roblox football, like threaten their lives or something, that's kind of losing. Like you lost a Roblox football game. That's never gonna affect you in a month. Calm down. You're not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So, I want to talk to you about an event that happened at in the early stages of the RWFL, and it actually happened on draft night. Now, the franchise owner for the Raiders, his name was Pete. There was a lot of controversy because in the second round of the draft, he drafted a second QB, and he got a lot of hate for it. But Pete came to me in DMs, maybe in round 3. He said, "I didn't mean to draft him. I meant to draft someone else." And he told me 2 days prior to the draft that he did the exact same thing in the OFL or something. What is your thoughts on the Pete situation?
I feel like, in the draft, if you make the wrong choice, we really can't do anything about it. You gotta keep moving as quickly as we could. It was already like 8 o'clock at night. You don't want to keep people up, But his reaction, he blocked his entire players and everything. That's kind of out of hand. His reaction.
I think he blocked everybody in the league.
He blocked a lot of people in the league because he got upset, which I feel like that's an overreaction. You shouldn't go block everyone that disagrees with you. That's just kind of thing you can do. I feel like he's allowed back in the league. Yeah, if he wants to come back, he can.
Is he allowed to be an FO in the next season of the RWFL?
Oh, probably not. But I don't want to risk having that thing happen all over again. Deal with it all over again. I'm trying to make sure I get the good FOs to stay and bring in better ones if I can.
Yeah, so here's something I also want to talk about. I heard you recently say in the chat of the RWFL that Season 1 is like a test run of the RWFL.
Season 1,
How different is it going to be? How different is it going to be in Season 2 than it is now?
Season 2, there's going to be 2 extra teams. We're probably going to add extra games to the schedule. I think 2 more I'm going to add. And just season 1 to test, we're gonna see who's the good FOs, who's the good players. Yeah. Who's the good media analysis, who's the good quarterbacks, running backs, what roles work, what roles don't work, what teams I don't really know there. What else that? It's pretty much what it is. It's just a test season to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Do you think the RWFL is going to be more than just 1 or 2 seasons? And are you going to try to reach it out a lot more?
Well, I feel like it's gonna be at least 2 seasons at minimum. We're already almost at the end of season 1. It's scheduled to end on the 17th, which is in 5 days. We're getting the playoff football, which is good. I feel like it can probably go on. Go ahead.
Continue.
Oh, I feel like it'll probably be around for 3 to 4 seasons, possibly.
One thing I want to talk about is the playoffs. How is the playoffs going to happen? And are you prepared to see if there's like any backlash from any teams to see if like, you know, the toxicity of, you know, maybe losing in the playoffs?
I don't think toxicity will get out of hand. I feel like everyone's fine. I don't feel like there will be a lot of toxicity. I'm gonna do it. The third best team in the conference and the second best team in the conference go against each other in the first round. The first team in the conference, the best team in the AFC or NFC, will get a first round bye to the championship game. Whoever wins about it's the 2 seed and the 3 seed will play in the next round. The winner of that game goes to the Super Bowl.
I see. Yes.
So right now you're the FO of the Eagles, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so right now you are the third team in the NFC. So if the playoffs were today, you'd go against Washington, and the Buccaneers would have the first round bye.
We played Washington this week actually.
Yeah, so it is a good matchup here. No, I think you're playing against the Vikings actually.
No,
week 6.
Yeah, we played the Vikings. Yeah, and then
the final week you'll go against Washington.
Yeah. So since we were talking about the Pete situation, he was the FO of the Raiders, I want to talk to you about the former FO of the Vikings, Super. I don't know much about that situation, so what happened?
Okay, well, what happened is, there's the middle of a game right now. He already had a toxic side himself. He was very offensive to things. He made awful race and religion jokes. In the middle of a game against the Dolphins, he flew himself and went invisible and caught a ball and went to the touchdown. They kind of cheated in a way, but it didn't really matter. They were losing a lot. And then after the game, he wants to argue with everyone in the chat and like said really racist and like homophobic jokes and shit.
Mm-hmm. Is he banned from the league or is he still?
I don't have him banned from the league, but he's probably never gonna have FO again in the league. If he comes back, I don't think he's gonna come back though, in my opinion. Ari's not a big fan of him. But go ahead.
Is he welcome back in the league?
It matters if he'll change his attitude, his behavior. If he's gonna be toxic like that again, probably not. If he promises to change his ways, then yeah.
One thing I did want to talk to you about, and I wasn't really going to bring it up because I'm kind of biased on the situation. How do you feel about the comments about Ari11 being somewhat biased whenever he's commentating?
Oh, Ari is biased. There's no debate about it. Ari is 100% biased. There's no debate about it. He makes biased comments. There's no debate. I only have him stream because he has high quality streams and he can commentate pretty well. But sometimes he's pretty biased. But everyone, in a way, is somewhat biased to themselves. Ari believes he's a good quarterback. Does he have a right to be? Yes, he can believe he's great. But does people disagree with him? Yeah. That's just what's going to happen.
One more thing I want to ask you about the RWFL is, what is the future of the RWFL?
Future? I don't really have a planned future. I just hope it keeps going. That'd be a fun, competitive league. If it grows and becomes really good, then that's great. But if it doesn't, not a big deal. Let's hope it's fun, competitive.
That's all I really wanted to ask you. Are you ready to get into the questions I've had from some of the Steiner section viewers?
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into it.
All right. This one is actually from your team, the Steelers in the RWFL. He said, ask him who is the best wide receiver on the Steelers. And this is from Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, felt like it'd be Juju. Juju has been incredible in the defensive end, receiving-wise. There hasn't been really a top guy. When I'm quarterback, I usually try to hit Juju or Delta, and they've been really good for both themselves. I don't want to make anyone upset, but I probably would say Juju here over Delta. He's been a little favorite of a target. He always goes deep and gets burns pretty well.
All right. Next, we have a question from Jeffrey Williams. He asked, "What is the plan with UDW moving forward?"
UDW that would more go to be Caden's question here. Caden's gonna make the moves. I'm just gonna be supportive of him and try to help him out if he needs help. Caden is hoping to keep the Fed alive and keep it going for a while right after APW.
Next, we have a question from Beastashay. He said, Origin, why did you give Caden owner of UDW?
Well, it was either the Fed dies or I give it to someone that can host and promises to do well. And I thought, okay, I want this Fed to be alive, you know. Me and Daryl put some effort into it. So did Game Osprey. So I'm like, Caden promised me to turn this Fed around, and I hope he gets the job done.
One thing I want to ask you while we're on the topic of Caden Jersey is that we know his past about some of the things he has done to fellow wrestlers. Do you think that he would ever do that to hurt the brand UDW?
I don't believe so. Caden's past is kind of more about him doxing people that did like illegal stuff, like Zane, for example. Zane 100% deserved it, in my opinion. He did really odd stuff in this community, and he needs someone to speak out about it. And no one believed Caden will ever lie about anything on that topic. Caden is a good source for that stuff.
What do you think about the Zane situation?
I was close to Zane. I went to ECW back in my career. I won the world title there. I'm a Hall of Famer in ECW. Am I proud to be in it now? Probably not. I didn't think Zane would be like that back then, but he deserves, the backlash he received. He didn't really handle the situation really well either. Was not the smartest person to handle it.
All right. This next question I'm going to ask you, I'm not sure if it's going to be cut out or not, but what do you think about the situation with Omni Ward a couple weeks ago, where he was pronounced caught big cleaning?
I heard about it. Can't really look into it a lot, but I was close with Omni. I don't know if he was always cheating or was he only an APW. Do you know if he was always cheating or was just an APW?
I haven't asked him. I don't know much about the situation either.
Omni always said he had a garbage PC, which is, I think it's true, and I've seen it. I think I don't really have much to comment on it, but it's kind of tough that he cheated and ruined 100% of his reputation.
Yeah. He actually met.
You're good.
Continue. So he told me earlier today that he said he's not away. He's just on his Alex Powers account with some super old friends. That's the last I've really heard about it.
It probably is true. But okay, so he said it's a lag switch. I think he only used it in APW because he was fine in AXW, RWE back in his day. Never really had a backstory of cheating. I don't. Alright, it doesn't know if that's 100% true. Okay. I don't have much.
Continue.
Go ahead. Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't really think he was a big cleaner because from what I've seen in mainly Ashes Fed RWI, I thought he was really the future of Pro Wrestling because his career was already laid out for him of what he was be able to do, and I think he would be a future APRW World Champion. But because of this controversy, we don't know what the future holds for Omni Orton.
Yeah, it's very hard to come back from cheating in this community.
Hey,
and Deadly is still getting crap about it in the Rumble. It's not easy to come back after you've been announced a cheater in this community.
Yeah.
Hard to bounce back as it.
Alright, that's all I really had to ask you for that. Next question we have from someone named Reverse Card. He said, so for Origin, for all your time working on multiple projects such as UDW and RWFL, you have a wide span of fans and supporters. Will there be a time where you put all that into rest and pursue other careers past Roblox?
Oh, for sure. I wanna try to become an entertainer, like YouTube, Twitch. I would love to be able to that. It's always been a goal since I was a little kid, Every 10-year-old child wants to be a YouTuber back then. Yeah. Sure, you probably thought of it before. Ace probably thought about it, being a YouTuber himself. It's every little kid's dream, in my opinion. I really believe I want to try out the stream. Oh, brother's yelling in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. Jesus. I have no idea if you can hear that. It's kind of loud. Alright, but yeah, I've always wanted to try to maybe become a streamer or a YouTuber, if any per se. That's kind of what I want to try to chase right now.
He also asked, so when the time comes, how do you plan to give back to the community and lead a new generation of Robloxian sports?
I mean, I can give anybody advice. Everyone's like one of my DMs on Discord. I always reply to people the best I can. If it's a real question, I don't reply to people that spam me. If you have any questions or like if you want advice in Roblox wrestling, I'm always on Discord really actively. Tag me on Twitter. I'll probably even give you an answer.
Since that is the case, I hope you don't mind I'm saying this, but if you do have a question for Mr. OriginCA, his DMs are probably going to be open. I'll probably have Ash put his Discord on the screen now, maybe. Like, yeah.
My DMs have always been open ever since I created Discord. I do appreciate people coming to me and asking questions. It makes me feel like I'm somewhat important to people. That's feel kind of nice.
All right, that's all I had to ask you, Origin. That's the interview.
All right, thank you for having me, man.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed this interview. We hope you like, comment, and subscribe to the Roblania Network. I've been Jackson Steiner, and this is the Steiner Section.